Hi, my name is Avery Berkey, and this is my Module 3 discussion-based assessment. Before I start, I would like to say that I apologize on how long it took me to submit this assignment. I have made this video probably about a dozen times, and it has failed every time to either save or upload. And so I really hope that this time works, because I have tried to submit it so many times and I have made this video so many times. So for my tobacco, drug, and alcohol presentation, I chose fentanyl. Fentanyl is classified as a synthetic opioid drug that was created for the relief of pain in medical settings, typically during and after procedures, used by a medical professional, and when misused, it is very, very dangerous. However, it does happen to be misused a lot because it creates a very crazy euphoria and sedation and just a significant and unique high that you can pretty much only get from fentanyl. But it is very, very dangerous, and it can lead to fatalities because of the slowing of the central nervous system. Some common street names for fentanyl are Fent, Apocky, China Girl, Dance Fever, and Jackpot. These street names are typically used to disguise the identity of the drug and also make it seem less serious. Another example of a street name is how this is often referred to as the Fentfold, which is this man and he's just crashed on public floor. Common forms of fentanyl include white or light powder, like here, pills that are disguised to look like prescription medications but are actually fentanyl, injectable liquid, which is pictured here, and it's oftentimes mixed into other drugs, either to be hidden from people that it's in there or to disguise it once again as another drug. But oftentimes people take other drugs and they happen to have fentanyl in them, but they were not aware. Along with those common forms, this is how fentanyl often enters the body: through ingestion or swallowing pills, through injection or using needles and injecting liquid. That's shown here, where a man is injecting fentanyl liquid into his veins. Inhalation, snorting, or smoking, which is depicted here with a man snorting fentanyl. And absorption through the skin or medical patches, which is shown here. Since fentanyl is such a powerful drug, it comes with lots of short-term and long-term effects, and typically most of those happen to be bad. So some of those short-term effects are mood swings, drowsiness, which is showed here, slowed breathing and heart rate, otherwise referred to as bradycardia, which is shown on this graph, confusion and dizziness, which is up here, nausea and vomiting over here, loss of consciousness, fainting, syncope, which is shown in this picture, sweating, which is shown in this picture, and constricted pupils, which is shown over here. So clearly fentanyl comes with many short-term effects, and I don't know about you, but most of those do not sound desirable to me. Long-term effects, however, are even worse. First being addiction, which is very bad if you get addicted to fentanyl. And unfortunately, if you use fentanyl, it is likely that you will end up being addicted to it. Tooth decay or osteoporosis, which is the condition of bones weakening and becoming porous. This is a picture of the tooth decay that can happen from fentanyl. Yuck. Brain damage, which over here there's an MRI that shows that, and just brain damage and lots of just neuro deficiencies and compromising. Mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. Sometimes it can even be a cause of a disorder. Increased risk of fatal overdose. Once again, the more you misuse fentanyl, the more likely it is to die from it. And also it damages organs like hearts, kidneys, lungs, and that's shown here. While I was researching, some interesting facts and statistics that I found about fentanyl were, one, fentanyl is up to 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. I had no idea that it was that strong. That's crazy. Synthetic opioids like fentanyl are responsible for the majority of overdose deaths in the United States. Yeah, once again, very high risk of fatalities. Fentanyl affects breathing more than many other drugs, and fentanyl can make someone stop breathing entirely. Pills that look like prescription medications are often made illegally, and they actually have fentanyl in them. Overdose death rates involving fentanyl increased. Oh, yeah. So I think that fentanyl seems to be kind of like a trendy thing, and it comes and goes, because from 2016 to 2020, the overdose death rates from fentanyl rose by 279% in the United States, which is crazy. Here, I thought this picture was very interesting because we all know how small a penny is. That's a penny, and that's the amount of powder that can be fatal and kill you. This shows all of the other synthetic opioid drugs and how often they kill you, and this is fentanyl. So clearly it kills more than all the other drugs. This I thought was very interesting because this is an example of a real oxycodone pill, and that's a fake one. Could you be able to tell the difference just from the picture or just from looking at it alone? Because I know I couldn't, and that was definitely crazy to learn about. Imagine hypothetically, if I used fentanyl and I became addicted and I continued to use it after I was addicted, my life would be affected in so many ways. Continuing the use of fentanyl would put my future dreams at a significant risk and make it almost unattainable or impossible to reach my goals. For my personal health, my physical and mental health would be severely damaged, and I would have there would be potential for overdose and chronic illness, mentally and physically, and emotional struggles that would take over my life. There's also a chance that I could get a disease or a cancer that could kill me. For education, if I took fentanyl frequently, my concentration would be so negatively impacted, and I would have a very hard time in school. I would probably have frequent absences, and I would definitely have a hard time maintaining good grades. This would make it difficult to even graduate high school and let alone pursue higher education. For my career, substance dependence could prevent me from developing my necessary skills that I would want for a job, and it would make it very hard to maintain a job with my lack of reliability from the drug. It would make it hard to advance in a career, and it would limit my financial independence and stability. As far as family goes, my continued use of fentanyl would completely probably ruin my relationships with all my family members, and I would probably treat them poorly because of how the drug made me, and they would be so worried about me, and that would put a strain on their mental health, and it would just isolate me and remove me from my support systems and from my loved ones. For future dreams, with the combination of the health issues, education setbacks, career struggles, damaged relationships, and more, achieving my long-term goals that I have now seem almost impossible. These are my works cited, and that is the end. Thank you.